Hi everyone, and thank you for joining me for Sketchbook Sunday, episode 48. I'm working in my Moleskine sketchbook with oil paint like always. This sketchbook was made for drawing. It's not made for oil painting, but I'm priming the pages with gesso, and this allows me to work with oils in it because gesso gives the oil paint something to bind to instead of the paper, and it prevents the oil paint from seeping through to the other side of the page and ruining the sketchbook. I'm asked this question literally every single day. Even on the videos where I say this exact same thing, people still ask me what kind of special oil painting sketchbook I use. So I'm just gonna keep repeating it. It's not a special sketchbook, it's just a regular one. And I'm sorry to all my viewers who've been around a while. You're probably so sick of me repeating myself nonstop like a broken record, but thank you so much for bearing with me. I love you guys. Today I wanted to talk about whether or not it's okay to copy another artist's paintings. I've been avoiding making this video for like 2 years now, but it's gotten to a point where I feel like I just have to, even if it pisses people off, and I do have a feeling I'm going to piss a lot of people off, so please bear with me and try to understand that I am on the side of the artist, which is you, the artist, regardless of what you might think about this topic, whether or not you have personally done this. So I'm on your side, and you'll see what I mean by that. So let's just paint a picture here. Pun not intended, but let's just, hypothetically speaking, imagine a scenario. Let's say you had this idea to paint this picture, this beautiful picture. You took so much time and effort putting together an idea. It's your idea, it's your story. You spent all this time building on this image, conceptualizing, putting together, building your reference. It's all yours. This exact painting has never existed before. You're so passionate about it, so passionate about creating the painting. You have so much fun working on it. You spend literally 100 hours over the course of a few months working on this painting, struggling through it, getting frustrated, coming back, powering through it. You're putting in the details, putting in all that time. You're so passionate about it. You're so proud of yourself for staying focused on this painting. It has meaning to you. It's personal. It's important to you. And finally, you finish the painting. All that work was worth it. And you post it online, sharing your story, sharing the process. And then a few weeks later, you come across your painting on someone else's page. But it's not your painting, not your exact painting. I mean, it looks just like it, just, kind of bootleg. Someone copied it. They made their own version of it. And it's completely obvious that it's your painting because all the colors, shapes, details, it's put in the same places. It's very obviously, like, you put them side by side, it's like very obviously copied from you, but this person doesn't mention you anywhere, doesn't mention where the idea came from. They claim they did it themselves and came up with it themselves, and then they slap their own name to it, pretending it's their story, their idea, their hard work. How would you feel? I don't know about you, but I'd be annoyed. And this happens to me all the damn time. It happens to my friends. It happens to so many artists on social media. And there's a word for it. It's called plagiarism. You know how you're supposed to cite your sources if you are writing a research paper in school? You're supposed to cite exactly where you got the information from. And if you don't, it's called plagiarism. And it will likely affect your grade. Well, in the art world, copying other people's paintings will catch up to you. It will cost you. And if you are trying to build an art career and make a name for yourself, it will eventually give you a really bad reputation once people catch on. So let's say you copied another artist's paintings, right? Does that make you a bad person? No, of course not. Did you do something wrong? Well, that depends on how you approach the situation. Were you honest about where you got the idea? Were you honest about the fact that you copied another person's work? If you tried to claim it as your own without stating those things, then you're being dishonest. Did you state in your description, this is a copy of, insert artist's name and link to their page, painting? If not, then you did it wrong. If you used someone else's painting as reference and copied it, it's not inspired by, it's copied. It's a recreation, and you have to name it properly, otherwise you are being dishonest. You're stealing someone else's idea and someone else's work. My artwork, or anyone else's artwork in general, are not free reference material for you. In fact, if you messaged me personally and you asked me, hey, I really like this painting of yours, I wanted to make my own version, you know what I would respond to you with? I would say, yeah, that's fine. As long as you state that you made a copy of my painting, I'm okay with it. Some artists are not okay with it. It depends on the person. You know, it's kind of nice to ask. If a painting of mine really resonated with you and you really liked it and you made your own version of it to practice, I get it. I'm flattered. I'm so grateful that my work spoke to you, that I'm able to share my art with you. Like, I don't hate you. I'm not mad at you. That's fine. But you can't sell that because legally you're not allowed to. And if you post it on social media, I would really appreciate it if you were honest and stated exactly where you got the idea and linked to my page, you know? And that applies to any other artist, not just me. Just because someone puts their art out there doesn't mean they deserve to have it stolen. I don't know why we want to treat artists that way. If someone robs you on the streets, that's wrong. Are you going to blame them for putting themselves out there on the streets, for carrying a wallet on them? No. Don't rob people. Don't steal. It's simple. Just be a good person. If you really want to recreate someone else's work, don't try to build a brand or a business around that. That's literally illegal. Like, you have to state that you copied them. It's always best to use your own reference material. That way you know your painting is truly an original and has not existed before. You should conceptualize your own idea and come up with your own reference material if you really want to be taken seriously as an artist. And fun fact, the sunflowers I'm painting in this Sketchbook Sunday are based on references that I made available on my Patreon page back in April. I grew them myself, I took pictures of them, and they're available royalty-free if you want to use those photos for your own art. You're more than welcome to, and you don't even have to credit me if you don't want to. Like, I made those references available for you, royalty free. And let's just say you want to paint water, like I paint water, maybe you saw another artist painting water and you want to paint your own paintings involving water. Well, as long as you go out there in the world and get your own reference material and don't just copy another person's painting, obviously you don't have to credit them. Like, if you got the idea to paint water from me and you went out there and took your own references and make your own original paintings, yeah, you don't have to state that you were inspired by me. I don't care. Like, but if you copied my painting, like straight up, it looks exactly like my painting. Yeah, I'd really appreciate it if you were honest about that. I hope this made sense, and I hope you know that ultimately I just want you to be the best artist you can be, and that cannot happen when you're copying other people and not coming up with your own ideas. Obviously, I make painting tutorials, and you can, like, those are intended for you to paint for yourself. I'm not, like, trying to keep those ideas for myself. Like, I will even say, hey, the reference is available here or whatever. But if I'm doing like a painting demonstration, unless I personally say feel free to paint this for yourself, then, you know, just use your common sense there. I want artists to be treated fairly and with respect, and that includes you, the artist. And I think it's cool to make modern takes on old classical paintings, but if you do that, you have to be honest about what you're doing. You have to be honest about who created it first. Otherwise, you're just stealing, and yeah. So I really expect a lot of people are going to be pissed off, and I get it. I totally understand why. But I had to make this video because I keep seeing the same thing happening. And I realize that some people just don't know any better. So I just want to spread some awareness about that and help you guys out. And like I said, I'm on your side. This video is meant to put things into perspective so that if you do copy someone else's work, you're not doing it in a way that is going to harm your reputation or get you sued. So you're welcome, I guess. But please understand that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you in my next video if you're not too angry and don't unsubscribe. And I'm wishing you all a beautiful and inspiring day. Bye, guys.